All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game between Syde versus Grubby. This game taking place here on Echo Isles. Syde spawning as, well, the blue undead over here on the top right-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Grubby has spawned as, well, the red orc over here on the top left. Haven't watched Grubby in a bit yet. I rarely get to cast any Grubby games. I sometimes cast his stream, so should be exciting to see all of the games today. Thank you for Shy Balls and Is Bullets for tuning in. I'm assuming you follow me on Twitch. If you guys want to follow me on Twitch and, well, join me as I stream in the mornings, definitely check out Crota.sc on Twitch. Just hit that follow button and you will be aware and know when I am going live. For all of you guys out there, thank you very much. If you're watching my content wherever you may be, whatever time it is, thank you very much. Anyways, let's see what's going to be going on in this Undead versus Orc matchup. Syde often known for going for a Dreadlord first, so we'll see if that is going to be the case here, waiting for that Ziggurat. If he does go for a Dreadlord first, he often will unsummon that Altar of Darkness to get that extra bit of gold and try and set up that expansion. Hey, I follow you too. Can't support you though. Lack of funds. Well, watching me on YouTube as well, or if you are in the US, you can still cheer just a little bit. There is ways to earn free bits in Twitch. It's just on the bottom in that little chat box right there. You can watch advertisements for bits and then do a little bit of a cheer. Every little bit helps. Lots of bits help more, obviously, but I don't need to tell you that. Anyways, Acolyte now making its round out across over here. Gonna see what type of hero it is going to be. And there it is. It is gonna be a Farseer. Acolyte now making its way back as the Farseer, using this time to instead clear out the Ogre Warrior creep camp, getting the Spirit Wolves into that frontline spot. Oh, unfortunately, however, Grubby, well, one grunt currently ensnared, not able to do any damage as the Acolyte is just dancing back and forth. There you go, finally going after the Forest Troll Trapper now. Meanwhile, down comes the Dreadlord opening up, gonna perhaps try and sleep the Ogre Magi, not getting Bloodlust down, and now we are gonna see some easy damage being done. There is that Blight. We should be looking at a Ziggurat being summoned, and the Ziggurat, in order to get that Nerubian tower up, is very important at slowing down the harassment. That cold tower really doing not a lot of damage, but necessarily slowing down the harassment factor, as we are looking at, well, there goes a Spirit Wolf being resummoned. You do not want to give your opponent level 2 just after they clear a 5-3-3 creep camp. Acolyte down across over here. We're looking, gonna keep this Dreadlord nearby. You can take a look. The Dreadlord does not have his Scroll of Town Portal. He did sell that earlier in order to, well, get a little bit more gold and perhaps try and set up that fast expansion and even that much more quickly. Necropolis gonna be placed down in over the haunted gold mine here. So we are gonna be having Acolytes transition their way up from the not have to transition their way up from the north. Tome of Strength also being left behind here. Dreadlord should be picking that up here momentarily, and still plenty of mana for sleep. No Vampiric Aura. It is going to be, well, an extra skill point is available so far. We'll see what it will be used on, as the haunted gold mine now getting, well, summoned. Back over here to the bottom left, Farseer also sitting at level 2, Scroll of Speed, and, well, Healing Salve also being picked up here. I'm trying to get, why does this all feel so funny? Everything just feels a little bit off with my setup today, as we're looking at a Skeletal Minion now shifting back off to the north here. Grubby being aggressive, trying to take down these center creeps, knowing that creeps are a valuable resource as well. Ogre Mauler going to get taken out. Meanwhile, back over here, there goes that, Renegade Wizard, or well, just Wizard off over there. I believe it's the Renegade Wizard. Yep, Renegade Wizard, the level 5 variety, picking up Claws of Attack +6. as the Dreadlord gets to level 3. It is going to be level 2 Carrion Swarm, level 1 Sleep, as that Carrion Swarm can deal a large amount of damage. Back down to the south, the Necropolis looks like it will be done here in just a moment. More Acolytes are shifting down as well, as here we go. Are we going to perhaps see a battle? Forest Troll Shadow Priest going to perhaps try and get an Abolish Magic in right off over there. There's a Nerubian Tower easily finishing off a unit. Meanwhile, Forest Troll Shadow Priest, Carrion Swarm, Chain Lightning going through, low hit point. Ghoul trying to run all the way to the back as more ghouls coming in from the north. Dreadlord still has a good amount. There goes a Scroll of Speed trying to, oh, there is a Sleep, and all of a sudden the Farseer is going to be forced to try and, well, use a Scroll of Town Portal. However, not before taking out a Forest Troll Shadow Priest first. A lot of damage coming through. Let's take a look at this as the ghouls are now trying to get away. No more Spirit Wolves, no more Chain Lightnings. All of those units are going to be teleporting back as we are seeing the Undead expansion up and running. All right. A good use of Sleep right there. Pretty much what you do as the Dreadlord. Sleep and surround with ghouls. Get in large amounts of damage. Force the Scroll of Town Portal. Boots of Speed now picked up on that Dreadlord instead. As we're looking at, what is the Dreadlord doing? Is the Dreadlord looking to actually clear out this Ogre Magi creep camp? That is going to be a little bit difficult, as we see Staff of Teleportation now come in. There goes that Dreadlord teleporting off over here to the top right. Coming back down, coming back through, Dreadlord still wandering around. Why? Well, headed back off to the north to pick up a Rod of Necromancy, and is now back here on Blight. You can see the low hit point ghouls already healing up rather nicely, and no lumber issues coming in for the Undead. In fact, perhaps too much lumber and not enough gold. As the Undead, it still does not have tier 2 ready yet. He's going to try and pick up some additional mercenaries to perhaps make up for his lack of units. We are already looking at the Tauren Chieftain coming in from Grubby, as we are seeing an expansion being set up by Grubby as well. There's an early stomp. We are looking, burrows are not upgraded to that fortified armor, as there is no need since there are not a large number of Crypt Fiends. So far, the Dreadlord picking up some additional items, perhaps trying to get to level 5, level 6, and grab that Infernal, a very powerful, stunning ability, being able to call down such a powerful unit from the sky, as ghouls are going to be looking to back up here. All right, low hit point ghoul down to 28 hit points. That poison being applied to multiple units, just in venom, just poisoning all of those units, taking a little bit of additional damage over time, as the Nightcrawler going to get taken out, picking up a second circlet of nobility. Back off to the north here, it looks like both sides just playing games against the creeps, as the Tauren Chieftain going to get to level 2 off of this creep camp, and now has a crazy amount of armor, already up to 9 armor at level 2 because of those rings of protection. Good day, Xander, Dawn, and Dorn. How are you doing? Thank you for tuning in. Units are still wandering around here. Dreadlord is still sitting only at level 3. Gonna try and get to level 4, but I believe, yes, will be shy of level 4 even after clearing out of this creep camp here. I'm doing terrible as always. Well, choose to have a good day. You can't really affect all the things that happen to you. You can only choose your response to those things. So hopefully, well, words of encouragement for everyone during this time of crisis, where everyone is just kind of stuck at home in this weird limbo state, as am I. 45 supply compared to 41. We're looking at Syde sitting at level 3, almost level 4. We do see Grubby having his expansion already up and running, so the economic advantage that, well, Syde tried so hard to work and establish, well, pretty much coming apart right there. And you can see that this Dreadlord, I don't know, did it get the necessary experience? Dreadlord now making its way back around. We're going to take a look at another Spirit Wolf down to 96. I was already stuck at home before the Corona thing due to my health. I'm sorry about that. All right. Well, I guess everyone now can feel and understand your pain a little bit more. Dreadlord trying to catch up to that Farseer. Are we going to see a sleep? There we are. There is a sleep right there. A stasis trap coming in from Grubby, as we are going to go into a surround, and that is a massive surround right there. Gargoyles are right there. Tauren Chieftain is slept. Are we going to see a carry-on swarm and trying to let sleep again that Tauren Chieftain, and Farseer gets taken down so easily. A giant stomp though, and a massive stun as that Tauren Chieftain is amongst so many units. You can see how much damage across all of those ghouls right there. One chain lightning to follow it up would have done a massive amount of damage, as the sleep is just there to shut down that Tauren Chieftain. However, the problem now is the Dreadlord. Can it get out of that tight spot? Looking to do exactly that. Farseer is right there. What is going on? Farseer perhaps going to get a little bit of damage. No potion of mana on that Farseer. Scroll of Town Portal is available. There's a Scroll of Healing as the units are trying to, well, Potion of Invulnerability now being used. Tauren Chieftain does have enough mana for another stomp, and there it goes. Are we going to see a chain lightning come across? Tauren Chieftain has a good amount of mana still. Are we going to look for a stomp? Yes, there you are right there. A lot of damage being dealt. The Dreadlord currently, well, trying to just hide with the hide, but unable to do so. And there you go, the Dreadlord is backing away. The Dreadlord used a potion of invisibility in order to stay right there to finish off that surround, but the Tauren Chieftain with a potion of mana able to really just stomp his way through, shut down many of those ghouls. And I think we're going to see Syde just continue to invest into a lot of air units instead. One of the easiest and best ways to deal with, well, an opponent who has very powerful ground stunning abilities such as this Tauren Chieftain is to obviously go for air. Forest Troll, Shadow Priest back out onto the field. Dreadlord getting healed. We are going into tier 3 now, finally, for the Undead. I do not, well, there is a new Altar of Darkness. It was that Altar of Darkness ever sold then? Because I don't see a third hero being trained up as of yet. We do see 1/1 upgrades and a almost level 5 hero, but that is going up against Grubby's level 4, and now adding in a level 1 Shadow Hunter. That Shadow Hunter going to add even more, well, even more health to that Tauren Chieftain, keeping him alive and well as Nightfall finally comes to Echo Isles.
Summoning is complete.
Temple of the Damned going to be added. You need the altar for tier 3 tech, so probably rebuilt. Oh, very good point. Metaphysics, hey, how you doing? Thank you for tuning into the stream. Just massively tired, but then again, that seems to be the case with everyone. Spirit Tower, 27 to 32 damage, rather high damage, and dealing piercing bonus damage to those unarmored units. Coming back through, Shadow Hunter looking to get to level 2, going after a gargantuan sea turtle. Tauren Chief or Shadow Hunter also has this orb of lightning, so it can do that purge. Thank you for the follow, Ludus the Beast. Oh, Ludix is the Ludus is the best. Oh my goodness, okay, it's very early and my R's are not focusing right. Skeletal minions now making their way through. 4.9 triple circlets of nobility, boots of speed. Tauren Chieftain with 9 armor, or is it 10 armor already? Chain lightning finishing off some units right there, and it bounced around. There is that sentry ward catching sight of that shade. Meanwhile, Tauren Chieftain sits at level 4, already at 10 armor with that +7 between the protection, ring of protection 3 and 4. Alright, Syde now just sitting in his base trying to build up a larger army over time. We're looking at the Dreadlord, and well, without that Dreadlord getting to level 5, Carry-On Swarm could in fact deal a large amount of damage if the timing is right and you can actually find all of those units. Grubby playing in a tournament, classic Undead play, just sitting there chilling, just trying to find the units that they want. But then again, we are talking about a Dreadlord first, so and it is going to go into Necro Wagons. Skeletal minions now back out, and a Carrion Swarm making their way through. There is also a Meat Wagon, but that Meat Wagon could get taken down, does get taken down very quickly as the skeletal minions are now swarming around. Dreadlord does get to level 5, has plenty of mana. You can see all of these skeletal warriors actually getting upgrades, so they have 2/1 upgrades, dealing a little bit more damage, 16 to 19 damage. If that skeleton army wasn't scary enough before, having them also have those upgrades, very, very important. Now, what is going to happen? Shamans are out. Are we going to get Spirit Walkers? That is the follow-up question. But no, we are at double Spirit Lodge. So Spirit Walkers and Dispel is not likely to be happening. Only Purge, but Purge does not work well against those mass skeletal minions. Carry-On Swarm is going to be coming online. There it goes. finishing off 2 units right there. Nicely done, as stasis traps are continuing to be dropped. All right, are we going to see, yes, death of a gargoyle as it tries to back away. All right, stasis traps and a Tauren, so healing wards on those Tauren going to make them very difficult to finish off. They are healing a large amount of hit points because of those healing wards, as the units are now trying to make their way through. As long as the carry-on swarm from the Dreadlord can actually find their targets in the back, that is going to be a problem, as we see another Necromancer getting caught in transit. Not every day that you see witch doctors there, as you're looking at a gargoyle getting purged in the middle of the air, is going to be able to fly up onto the high ground into those trees. Nope, it does, but the tree is not large enough for the gargoyle to stay hidden as it gets shot down from the back. All right, back off to the north instead. A Temple of Dam trying to train up more units. Tauren now leading the way as well. Tauren Chieftain right behind. Tauren Chieftain also with that orb of lightning transferred from the Shadow Hunter, so all the 3 heroes can attack the air. All I'm playing is only for the or the people who people who try hard. All right, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Carrion Swarm now making its way through, trying to battle it through again. All of those units, gargoyles, trying to back away, as we're going to look at that Dreadlord. If it gets another good Carrion Swarm through all of those units, again, there is a sleep, however, forcing an engagement, as the skeletal minions are here joining in on the fight. Ghouls now going to be pushing through as well. There goes another healing ward, as there is Spirit Walkers with the spell magic. I take it back. A Tauren, oh yeah, definitely, the Tauren totem. Since there were Taurens out onto the field already, not too difficult to train up those Spirit Walkers. My mistake, as double Spirit Lodge kind of confused me. All right, Dreadlord still trying to battle it through. Are we going to see more Carrion Swarm come in? Dreadlord sitting at level 5. Another Carrion Swarm could perhaps finish off many of those units. Shaman going to be coming into play, so we may be actually looking at Bloodlusted units as well. All right, we're still that Dreadlord trying to get in enough kills. Are we going to get to level 6? Yes, we are. Finishing off another unit there, but one Spirit Walker hides in the ethereal form in order to get away. Skeletal minion, or skeletal, mages. How do the skeletal mages actually have more hit points than the skeletal minions? I don't quite know. No, Orc versus Undead with Caster versus Caster. Syde often known for going Dreadlord and also going for this a little bit more unusual, unorthodox strategy. The Necromancers meat wagons with now Dreadlord summoning down Infernals is going to be rather scary. But in the same breath, at the same time, the Farseer is at 5 and that Tauren Chieftain is not too far behind. Coming on through, Troll Bat Rider is going to try and, find some easy targets to finish off. There's that Troll Bat Rider right there. Are we going to see, damage on that Troll Bat Rider? Cripple, making it move around very slow. Extra damage being absorbed there, but it looks like that unit will still be able to get away. Reduced movement speed, attack rate, and damage. All 3 of those stats being greatly reduced, as the Gargoyles and this Orc army now trying to move, Undead army trying to move out. Meanwhile, Orc army is a little bit larger. Chain lightning coming back around. Stasis trap is coming online, and what are we going to see there? It sounded like there were berserkers there, and there's a stasis trap catching the Dreadlord out of position. All right, Hex now coming back through. Troll Bat Rider finding its way through. Tauren Chieftain now going as the Dreadlord summons down an Infernal. There is another Hex onto that Dreadlord in the back trying to get away, and it looks like it will be able to stay alive. There goes another giant stomp across all of those units again, but you see the Tauren Chieftain using a potion of lesser invulnerability there. Dreadlord now still dancing around, or Dreadlord trying to dance around. It gets vaporized from that chain lightning, as the Infernal still leading the charge there. Bloodlusted Tauren making its way through. More damage coming across the Infernal, just trying to walk on over, causing problems, as the Dreadlord at level 6 has been felled so far. Wind Riders, Bloodlusted Taurens with healing wards, and pretty much Orc and Grubby showing that he can still play very aggressively with every skill under the rainbow. Spirit Walkers, we have Spirit Walkers, we have Witch Doctors, we have Shamans, we have Kodo Beasts, we have 3 of the 4 heroes coming in from the Orc, as well as the Farseer now gets up to level 6. Coming back around, is this Farseer going to be able to perhaps cast Earthquake? Yes, there it goes. Earthquake right there across multiple units. Skeletal minions now going to try and make their way over. A little bit of slow and dizziness as the Shadow Hunter is right there. Tauren Chieftain going to be brought on over. There's some Dispel magic as well, taking down 2 of the Ziggurats already with that ultimate ability. Farseer dealing so much damage, slow across all of those units, as well as the Necropolis could end up getting taken down. We see healing wards in the back, stasis traps in the back as well, and what is happening? Syde is not able to get his Dreadlord back into play as the Tauren Chieftain throws down another major stomp. So much damage coming across all of these units here as the Witch Doctors are just absolutely getting destroyed on this map. It looks like Grubby gonna have a great time here at finishing things off. 80 supply compared to 51 over 50. Well, Grubby is going to do a little bit of a favor to Syde, finish off a meat wagon, and now put him in no upkeep. There goes another meat wagon for good measure, as the undead army, only with necromancers and obsidian statues, needs to try and make a play. Gargoyle unable to finish off a Wind Rider, just simply too many units out there, as the Dreadlord is back out onto the field, needs a little bit more mana, and is trying to hide himself into a corner. Tauren Chieftain is, currently crippled, trying to head back now, slowed as well, moving around very, very slowly. Back down over here, an Infernal. What is it to do with timed life? Just, beat up on a couple of buildings and cause a little bit of, disruption as the Troll Witch Doctors. Wow, 4 Troll Witch Doctors in a game. I wouldn't have thought I'd see the day, as the Dreadlord now trying to make its way over. It can summon an Infernal right there and really have finished off many units. However, we are now back into upkeep. Dreadlord 6.7, level 3 carry-on swarm plus the Infernal. Can the Dreadlord carry this army on its back and come out with another win right there? There is the Infernal. There is that carry-on swarm. The Infernal stun, not that large. The Infernal damage just falling down from the sky, not that large either, as we see cripples now coming across. So many skeletal minions while absorbing that much damage here, but that chain lightning of finding too many skeletal minions perhaps, as the Dreadlord now tries to make its way back down. Still not that much mana, and the undead army, even all of these new summons are causing some problems as well. The stasis trap gonna get finished off. There it goes, as the Infernal trying to chase down again. They're finding another stasis trap on accident, as the Dreadlord sits at level 6. Dreadlord really wants some additional mana somehow, some way. Meat Wagon's making its way back over. 65 supply compared to 68. A very strong play coming in from Syde to make a little bit of a comeback and try to equalize everything. However, Grubby is sitting on, 1,000 gold compared to Syde's 500. Healing wards also being useful out of combat, but skeletal minions quickly finding that target and shutting that down. Back over here to the bottom right, meat wagons get trained back up. Dreadlord needs to find perhaps another potion of mana. That follow up to that carry-on swarm, to the Dreadlord, is that carry-on swarm, and it really feels like Grubby is unable to keep these units all separated. They are ending up clumping together, making that carry-on swarm just that much more effective. Lining up for what may be a deciding fight here. Things are pretty much even once again. 60 supply compared to 68 compared to 70, as the skeletal minions, they are still giving a little bit of free of experience, as that Tauren Chieftain, if it gets to level 6, will not be afraid to dive into uncharted territory onto all of those necromancers. But the number of necromancers that we see, is that north of 10? That might be more than 10 necromancers, so that's going to be a lot of units to deal with the instant that this fight gets ready to go. Also, if the meat wagon was actually able to just apply disease cloud, all of a sudden things could get changed very quickly. Acolytes now making their way down. No more mining happening off to the north. Do we see any buildings being unsummoned? No, we do not. We're going to be getting ready for a fight. There's that carry-on swarm right now. Chain lightning dancing back around, as you see the disease cloud now applied. Giant stomp. Not easy to try and surround a Tauren Chieftain, as a Tauren Chieftain now shifting away again. Ghouls trying to catch up. We are looking at a large number of units. We are looking at Bloodlusted Shadow Hunter as well. So Bloodlust, Healing wards, Spirit Walkers. Do the Spirit Walkers actually have resurrection? That's the question there, as a chain lightning bounces around across multiple necromancers again. Level 3 chain lightning on that Farseer. Perhaps acolytes are all down across here. Perhaps they will be able to auto repair some of these key buildings. And Grubby is not playing in the dark. Grubby knows exactly what is happening with all of these sentry wards scattered throughout the base. So, the only thing that's missing right now is perhaps Banshee with Cripple, or with Possession, not Cripple, to take some of those Tauren out. We are looking at the Dreadlord making its way back down. It does have that potion of mana that I was expecting and hoping to see, and we are now just going to continue to push on through. There is a Banshee. There's a chance that... Nope, there is a Banshee, but it is still in the initiate training. It does not have possession as of yet, as we're now going after a little bit of a chase. Disease Cloud is down across all of these targets. You can see stasis traps are being placed around. That is the reason why there is a shade, as there is a Destroyer trying to devour magic and now trying to head back here. 2 Destroyers, and we are taking a look. There are some stasis traps also being thrown down as well. Meat Wagons trying to get into position, does not want to engage where there are in fact stasis traps, as we see a sleep now being thrown down as well. We are looking at a good number of sentry wards down here. Necromancers Banshees are out on the field, but I don't believe we are getting any of that adept or any of that training into play. No, we are not. And we're finally going to be looking at an engagement. There's a chain lightning coming around. Shade caught out of position. Infernal coming down, finding across its target. And now, but there's a stomp onto the Dreadlord. Dreadlord followed up with the Hex, as the units are now trying to back up. Dreadlord still trying to make its way over, and beautifully done as the Dreadlord finds its way through and gets a nice carry-on swarm across multiple units. Infernal quickly taken down, and the Necromancer is actually a large amount of damage. The Tauren Chieftain tried to stomp, but it was just a little bit too far. Now we are looking at Vampiric Aura on that Dreadlord, so all 3 skills for the Tauren are available. Carry-on Swarm ripping through a Tauren right there, and now the Skeletal Minions are raising Undead, and of course there aren't Spirit Walkers trying to raise them back up. There are no Skeletons available for them since the Necromancers take them. Alright, Dreadlord still trying to lead the charge here. Tauren Chieftain gonna go ahead and try and throw down a stomp. Units not quite finding their targets, but 3 Necromancers quickly taken out with a departing chain lightning. Cripple seems to be very underused by undead players. Why would that be? Because they spend too much time using Frost Nova and Death Coil to have another target spell ability. Alright, sick fight right there indeed. And that departing chain lightning really making a big impact on the army, losing 6 supply and those necromancers, which are really fueling much of the undead army here. Now, the big difference is that, Grubby still has 3 minutes of mining left, but the undead has the ability to unsummon buildings if it wants additional gold. Shade now being left behind here, 57 supply compared to 72. Necromancers getting the necessary mana and hit points back up once again. Alright, Ward's gonna get easily destroyed. Shade keeping track of all of those targets with no real issue. Farseer, however, gets a chain lightning off on that Shade as it disappears into nothing. Meat Wagon, getting in some damage onto that sentry ward, wanting to make sure, hey, you don't want any of that to stick around, or you don't want any advantages for your opponent, as the Witch Doctors and Berserkers are looking to pull back. Grubby hates Shades more than he hates critters. Yeah. Alright. Shades all spotted out all throughout every corner of the map. There goes another as well. Shade after Shade getting revealed, as another Shade getting taken down, and new sentry wards. Farseer really just chain lightning, trying to finish off so many easy targets. Are we going to see a chain lightning across multiple units again here? That is the question. Skeletal Minion could try to get some damage. 2-1 upgrades. Units are backing up once more as the Dreadlord trying to get into position. All right. Necromancer Mastery upgrade. Farseer going to be here ready to go. There is sleep on that Farseer. Farseer is going to be able to woken up. Yes, woken up. There is a chain lightning across multiple targets. More damage coming across. There's a stasis trap, a massive stun. There's a follow-up stomp followed by lightning shield, and the Dreadlord going to be in trouble. Down to 93 hit points. An Infernal is summoned down, but too little, too late. Dreadlord has fallen at level 7, and that could be it. The Infernal still sticking around for a little bit of time. Over a dozen units being stomped right there. Chain Lightning following it up as well, as the Tauren Chieftain gonna put his foot down and, well, finish off even more units. Farseer seeing that level 7 in the back should be able to get off one more big Chain Lightning if necessary. There goes that Infernal. Come on, one more shot. There it goes. There's the stomp. Farseer can still finish off more of these low hit point units, finding many of those Necromancers in the back, but so many of them are low on hit points, but no more mana available. No, Tauren Chieftain was going to get into position and put his foot down again. Stasis, Hex, and Stomp really going to make a lot of people rage once Playtest Realm goes live. Yeah, Stasis Trap, if you don't have detection, I think detection is going to be much more important versus the Orc army. Even though Blade Master, you want to know if the Blade Master is there hunting and taking out your creeps. Towards the mid and late game, it doesn't make as much of a difference, but being able to spot and not run into stasis traps is going to be very, very important as well. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed this matchup. It's not every day you see 3 level 7 heroes in a game. Well, we saw Banshees, we saw Necromancers, Witch Doctors, Shamans, Spirit Walkers, Destroyers, Obsidian Statues, everything under the sun. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.